Welcome to the Get Ready for Your ISW Orientation, a collaboration between the Bina Institute and Mohawk College with support from Academics Without Borders. If you've watched the previous videos, you've already met three of the facilitators you'll be working with. Kelly Hoyt from Mohawk College, Kathy Ozols, recently retired from Mohawk College, and Norbert Salty from Bina Hill Institute. And we hope that what you've learned about the Instructional Skills Workshop so far has made you just as excited about the opportunity as we are. There are, however, a few more things we want to share that will help you get ready for your upcoming ISW. This ISW is a continuation of work already done with faculty from Bina Hill Institute, New Amsterdam Technical Institute, and Essequibo Technical Institute in 2024. The aim is to build a cohort of facilitators in Guyana so ISW training can become self-sustaining at these institutes and beyond. But before we go there, we'd like you to take a moment to refresh your memory about the things you already know about the Instructional Skills Workshop, things you learned watching the previous videos, things you've heard, things you found out by asking AI or Googling. You may wonder why we're asking you to do this exercise. It's called retrieval practice. Retrieving things from memory helps you strengthen and deepen those memories. Doing this will also help you connect things you're going to learn with already existing knowledge. That's another way to strengthen and deepen learning. This is also a way for teachers and students to pre-assess their knowledge, to figure out what they know, and to highlight areas where they need to learn more. We'll be sharing these kind of teaching tips for you throughout the ISW. So pause now and take stock of what you already know.
So now that you've thought about what you know about the Instructional Skills Workshop, it's time to consider some of the things that you don't know about what you're getting into and things you'd like to know, things that will help you be ready for the training. This is also part of what we call the pre-assessment in the ISW, and it should help prime you for the information you're going to be learning to help you get ready for the ISW. Again, before going any further, we'd like you to pause the video and reflect. Consider what things you need to know. What questions do you have? Is there anything you're worried about? Make a list that you can check off as you go through the rest of the recording. Please pause again now to reflect. So here are some of the key things that we want you to know as you get ready for your ISW. Hopefully, some of the things you want to know will be covered in this orientation. Today, we're going to talk about the history of the ISW goals and outcomes, an overview of what the training will look like, the values of the ISW, some really important assumptions and understandings. We will share the schedule for the week, and we'll talk a bit about selecting a topic for your 10-minute lessons that you'll be doing, and we'll share some lesson tips.
A very successful professional development initiative for educators. The Instructional Skills Workshop ISW was created in British Columbia, Canada in 1979. During the 1970s, as community colleges and institutes in the Canadian province of British Columbia matured, many recognized the need to provide support for instructors who had considerable professional experience and training, but no teaching credential. To address this need, Diane Morrison, then the Ministry of Advanced Education's coordinator of professional development programs, contracted with Douglas Kerr, consultant then employed a Vancouver Community College to design a pilot a program to enhance the instructional skills of these instructors. The program was to be brief and to provide the basic instructional skills required in the post-secondary environment. It is from here that the ISW was developed. Diane and Douglas are still members of the ISW network and continue to guide its growth and development. It was initially meant for new instructors. However, During the development phase, early participants who already held instructional roles found themselves engaged in a meaningful, reflective process. They recommended offering the ISW to both new and experienced instructors. They believed the format of the workshop was flexible enough to accommodate those from the wide range of disciplines and experience levels. Since then, the program has grown internationally and continues to adapt to new educational contexts, such as the rapid push to provide online training during COVID and afterward. Hundreds of educators have served as ISW facilitators, offering ISWs in colleges, institutes, universities, polytechnics, hospitals, government departments, nonprofits, and training organizations around the world. If you click the link, you can see where the ISW has been offered around the world. So there is a link there. The network also offers opportunities for continued professional growth after the initial instructional skills workshop. Facilitator development workshop, 40 hours workshop, often 5-day training event to prepare experienced faculty to lead the instructional skills workshops. This accredited training is also sometimes done using an apprenticeship model. Trainer development workshop. The third level of the tier is the trainer development workshop, TDW, where individuals who have completed the facilitator's development workshop and who have led several instructional skills workshops develop their skills to offer the facilitator development workshop. This training is most often done in an apprenticeship model. Online PD opportunities, that's the professional opportunities with network members around the globe. So I'm going to talk about the workshop goals. The overall goals of the instructional skills workshop are to help participants develop increased competence and confidence as facilitators of learning, share teaching and learning resources with each other, assist participants with their ongoing practice of professional reflection.
ISW is a 4-day workshop, and we hope you will find it a transformative experience. We'll be spending 24 hours together, and you'll have about 6 hours of preparation and self-reflection before and during the workshop. The experience will be highly participatory, small group learning opportunity of benefit to educators of all levels of experience. There will be theme sessions, lots of community building, resource sharing, and of course, we'll have fun. Each participant will teach 3 10-minute lessons, one each on days 2, 3, and 4. And each lesson will be followed by self-reflection and a feedback circle that provides lots of mutual support and learning. During each other's lesson, we purposely put ourselves back into the role of learner. Learner perceptions are valid, and we don't often get to hear them, especially not in real time. In this setting, learners provide purposeful, authentic feedback in a caring manner. Plus, you'll have a recording of your lesson to review before you teach your next lesson. This allows for self-reflection and the opportunity to compare what you see and hear compared to the feedback you received earlier. During the 4-day workshop, you will work closely with each other as peers to improve each other's teaching. In the ISW, we are all peers regardless of the roles and the experience outside the ISW. In the ISW, we are all equal. You'll also connect with colleagues from a range of fields and backgrounds, practice a variety of instructional strategies and techniques that you learn during the ISW. You'll recognize the importance of establishing a positive learning environment, explore differences found in contemporary learning environments, consider inclusive teaching and facilitating practices that respond to a wide variety of learning needs because we all have different learners in our classrooms. And you'll increase your knowledge of yourself as a teacher and as a facilitator of learning.
The ISW has evolved to meet the needs of instructors in diverse contexts because its inherent values give it great flexibility. The ISW community believes that we should treat one another and our learners with respect. The community believes that learning is enhanced when we're all inclusive, being sensitive to the many needs and differences in any learning environment. The ISW believes that we should continually strive to act with honesty and integrity. And the community believes that we will all learn more when we act in concert with these values. As you go through the ISW, we hope you notice that everything we've built for the training is based on these ISW network values. And if you see something that isn't, we hope you ask us about that. The ISW is really a community that you will become a part of, one that will always be there to support you and cheer you on as you move forward in the instruction of your learners. We all come to this ISW experience with individual goals and aspirations. We will only achieve those goals and become better educators if we rise above our own self-interest and attend to the welfare, work, and aspirations of others for the good of our small learning community. Taking that into account, there are 4 areas that we need to touch on to ensure that we're all on the same page before we get started: time, commitment, collaboration, and confidentiality. With time, it's important to be aware of the time required to complete the ISW program. The workshop is 24 hours with required attendance, and you should plan for an additional 6 hours outside of the workshop. It's important to put in the time, but not too much time. Be reasonable with your prep time. Beware of being a perfectionist. Don't overcommit during the week you're attending. Set expectations with your coworkers and family. When the workshop is running, you need to be there, but rest is also important. Commitment. Additionally, it is important to make the commitment to the time, to each other, and to yourself. The ISW doesn't work unless all members in the small group are committed to the process. Collaboration. This is a collaborative and supportive process, and it is important to understand that collaboration will be a requirement throughout the week as well. Collaboration can mean working directly with others and communicating with the group if needed. An example would be if you need them to do something to prepare for a lesson. We also support each other by providing appreciative feedback rather than criticism. And finally, confidentiality. This needs to be a psychologically safe space for all of us to share learning experiences, to provide feedback, and to care for each other without fear of making mistakes or saying something that will be repeated back at a review or amongst our colleagues. As a graduate of ISW, we encourage you to share your personal learning and reflections with all who could benefit, just not at the expense of another person.
This is an overview of the ISW schedule and what you'll be doing each day. You'll notice that the first day, we spend time setting the stage for the rest of the week. We'll get to know each other a little bit better, dive into various elements of lesson planning and the feedback process, set goals, and get ready for the next 3 days of lessons. Those are the days we're focused on crafting and delivering lessons and receiving feedback to help you meet your teaching goals. Days 2, 3, and 4 are intense, but fly by as you go through your lesson cycles. On the last day, we'll reflect on the entire experience and talk about how you can use your learnings in the future. And of course, at the end, there's graduation. Most from this learning experience, you need to set goals. An overall goal to guide your participation, and then individual daily goals before each lesson. The idea is to use your 10-minute lesson time to help you meet those goals. For instance, if you want to promote student engagement in your classes, you may want to experiment using different active learning techniques in your lessons. We ask that you start thinking about your goals now. Think about what are your strengths as an educator? and think about what you'd like to improve in your teaching and learning practice.
Most people stress about selecting a topic. Here's some tips to make it a bit easier. Select a topic that you're passionate about. Your motivation and excitement will shine through. One, draw a personal pursuit, interest, or hobbies. Focus on something you already know about. Keep the lesson simple and introductory. Laser focus on one learning outcome. What do you want learners to do by the end of the lesson? Recognize that your learners may have little prior knowledge about this subject. Active, get learners involved in doing something that is active. Some examples of the type of topics some people have chosen, not complicated. 1, napkin folding. 2, why mosquitoes bite. 3, we have benefits of bird watching. 4, breathing to reduce stress. And 5, how to make a paper airplane. Pretty easy. Then we have introduction to tomatoes. We have how to tie a shoelace. How do you tie your shoes? How to peel a banana the right way. Isn't that cool? Yes, you'll get feedback, but not about the topic. The actual content of your lesson is not as important as the delivery. Did you follow the lesson planning process we reviewed on day 1? The BOPS model. BOPPPS. BOPS. Did participants actively engage throughout the lesson? What changes would you make to enhance the learning experience?
ISW Handbook, which is available on this ISW website, is an excellent resource that you can use throughout our time together and as a resource afterwards. We'll be bringing printed copies with us that you can have so you can hold them and go through them. But as a resource, we'll not go through it page by page during the ISW, but I guarantee you it will be handy to refer to as you prepare your lessons for the ISW and for your classes. I know I still use my ISW handbook frequently. This handbook has been developed over time by many ISW facilitators and trainers. In preparing the workbook, the community had to make difficult choices about what to include. Your agenda directs you to pertinent resources for specific topics. Rather than compiling a massive resource that covers absolutely everything that might come up in or after an ISW, the community chose to model an important principle underlying the ISW itself. We recognize that in learning environments, less can be more. Less content may be more effective because it results in deeper learning and greater retention. Overall, this handbook is designed to provide important information that supports full participation during the workshop, information, resources, and references that can be used before, during, and after the workshop, and several tools for reflecting on teaching and learning, both as a facilitator of learning and as a lifelong learner. We do recommend that you scan the handbook, especially part 1, before day 1. So perhaps you're wondering what we are going to provide to you when you come to the Bina Hill. We'll provide the printed handbook, supplemental handouts, papers, pens, scissors, glue, tape, sticky notes, flip charts, markers, the kind of things that you may need during your lessons. We'll provide lunch and water to keep hydrated throughout the day. Now, what do you need to bring? One of the most important things, if you have it, is to bring a cell phone with a camera for videoing your lesson. If you don't have that, we'll figure it out. But if you do have one, please make sure there's enough room on there to record 3 lessons. If you have a laptop, iPad, or tablet, please feel free to bring them, but they're not necessary. You can also bring a USB stick if you have one. You'll also need to bring writing utensils and papers and a notebook. I really encourage you to have a notebook and bring that with you so that you can make notes and keep it with your manual. You'll need supplies for your lesson. So if you are doing a lesson on how to peel a banana properly, you'll need to bring bananas for the people in your group, that kind of thing. We'll have lots of supplies for you to use, but specific supplies you'll need to bring. We would recommend that you bring snacks to eat during break or throughout the day to keep your energy levels up. And also wear comfortable clothing and shoes. This is not something where you need to dress up. This is something where you need to be able to be comfortable in yourself in order to do the lessons and to learn.